we got wheels.
All right, Nick. Appreciate you joining us. Obviously, you've come from a championship franchise, championship program. You're trying to establish that here. Have you seen that at all in the early goings here of kind of that championship culture trying to be built?
Yeah, I mean it's early, but right now all we have to do is practice and work our ass off, and that's what I'm seeing. I love the way that locker room feels. I mean, after meetings we got 30, 40 minutes before practice. There's a ton of energy in there. I don't know. It's just there's a really good feeling, a mature feeling, a lot of energy in that locker room, and then you see it on the practice field. Guys are excited to be there, and OTAs isn't the most fun part of the season. Anyone will attest to that, but guys are taking advantage of it. Really appreciating the time that we get to work with, this new group that AP and DQ put together.
You worked with a young quarterback in Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Now you're here with Jayden Daniels. What have you seen from the young QB?
I just love the way he's taking the field every day. Trying to prolong every play, make a throw when he gets an opportunity. But man, first I haven't showed up before him yet. I'm an early guy. I like to get in here, get in the tubs, work out, and haven't been here before him yet. So he is always here early. Just watching film with the coaches up in the quarterback room or hanging out in the locker room talking to guys. Just he's around the facility a lot. Not being he's talking and getting along with all the guys, but he's not a super loud personality yet. He's kind of just taking it at a way that I think a lot of rookies should. He's feeling it out, feeling what his role is, and then when he's on the field, stepping up in that leadership role. And it's been awesome so far. It's early, but really like what I've seen so far.
Hey Nick, what have you liked about Bobby Johnson as your position coach?
It's been a really cool experience so far. Getting into this a new offensive line with a pretty veteran group that we have so far, and OG's pretty comfortable listening to the guys in the room. Obviously he's got his standards, his ideas, and then if there's something that we're not sure how we want to attack it yet, we can have a discussion about it, figure it out. Really enjoyed working for him so far, and really working with him. It's been a collaborative effort with him, Stape, Shane, and the older guys we got in the room. So I've enjoyed it.
Hi, Nick. Just out of curiosity, Terry mentioned the fact that the first week you guys were here with DQ, that basically it was all team building, no X's and O's talk. I'm just genuinely curious, what were some of the things that you guys did to build camaraderie that first week, and just how do you feel that it's translating right now in mandatory minicamp?
The only thing I can think of when you say that is the first thing that Terry said when we were meeting and we were having a conversation about a lot of things, and one of those things was the standard that we want to have as commanders. And first thing that Terry said was talking about blocking, and that was one of the coolest things I've ever heard. A receiver talking about blocking. Didn't mention catching a pass, finishing in the end zone, nothing. Talked about blocking, and I think that's something you see a lot of these successful teams around the league. I think the 49ers are probably the best around the league. Mike McDaniel's done a really good job with them down in Miami as well. It's just getting receivers and running backs and tight ends to block, and I think that's a huge part of an offense that has explosive plays. Not really answering that part of the question, but I mean the receiver blocking gets me a little fired up. So, but yeah, other than that, it was cool. We really got an opportunity to talk and listen to Super Bowl champion Zach Ertz and listen to Bobby Wagner, who's going to be in Canton one day, and the football fan in me, I love that. And listen to these guys. Let's hear what they have to say, and then listen to some of the young guys and all the guys in between, and kind of seeing where we're at as a team, what our mentality is, what we think we can bring to this organization. And I think the consensus was effort is, can't be a question. We have to be the hardest working team on the field. And then, caring about football. That's a big thing for me, is really caring about what we do here every day, because it's really easy to show up, go through the motions, and like, hey, I'm playing in the NFL. It's great, but it is what it is, and you can't get caught up in that. You have to care every day, and that's something I take from the guys in KC, and I love those guys there, and they loved it. They love practice every day, and I think that's what I'm seeing here so far. Really excited with the first couple months here.
If I can pick up on that last part right there, you're also a Super Bowl champion as well, too. What are the common foundational things that you have noticed between, like, for instance, you or Bobby or others? Like, what are the little things that those people do in this time period that lead to that success in February?
I guess you kind of hit it on the head with your question, is doing the little things in this time period and not just blowing off this time period, because it's very easy to be like, hey, it's May, June, July, we've got time. But taking the time to get your body right so you're all ready for a January, February run, and then spending time with young guys and making sure they understand what the little things are that we need in this offense. And then I'll go back to just truly caring about everything we do. If it's meetings, if it's the O-line going to get barbecue last weekend, whatever it is, caring about it, having a good time, and appreciating the fact that we get to play football for a living. It's the greatest sport in the world, and we get to play it for a living. It's awesome. So I think that's a common trend of those guys. They love this sport. They love football. They love competing. I say the last thing would be competing, and it's truly competing every day. To me, competing isn't just focusing on winning. You don't got to win every rep. It's just doing everything you can in that rep. If you lose, you figure it out. You go to the next rep and try to win that one. I think that's a lot of common trends. Mm-hmm.
Coach Johnson said last week in talking to him that you all offensive line is not even at the point of the running part, but you're at the walking part. What have you seen in the walking part from this offensive line so far?
I think we have a really intelligent group of guys that have a lot of experience, and that's cool to be a part of. I've been a part of a lot of different offensive lines of varying experience levels, and we've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of football at various places, and it's cool to hear different perspectives. So I think in that walking phase that we're in, we're blending the perspectives and of what Tyler did in Dallas, and what Sam and Wiley did here last year, and what I'm bringing from Kansas City, what Dieter's bringing from Miami and Houston, and Luke with the places he's been. So we're in that walking phase, and it's us combining the thoughts that we have on offensive line play, because there's a lot of ways to play offensive line, and combining those thoughts and figuring out how the five up front want to play together, and how we're going to get the job done to keep Marcus, Jayden healthy. I think that's where we're at.
Kind of to that point, when you can't go full contact, DQ has called this more of a passing camp. What are you guys able to accomplish, in a time like this?
A lot. It's we don't have pads on, but we're humming. So it's not low speed by any means. We're not banging in there, but it's fast. It's fast paced, getting a really good work with hands. Jonathan Allen, he has a pass rush move. I won't say what it's called. I don't know if people know, but it's an incredible pass rush move, and it's really hard. And I've gotten about 15 of them so far, and it's awesome to get to work every day on that, to the point where once I figure that out, there's no one else in the league that's going to be able to do that move on me. So we've gotten a lot done, and then the last couple of days getting the chance to set as a group, because you can take pass sets, you can do drills, but until you set as a group of five, it really doesn't resonate. It's like, I could set on a bag all day. But once you're setting and you're working on that foot chemistry and understanding how my center and my tackle are going to set and how we want to communicate games. We're not running power. We're not trap blocking or anything like that yet. But we're getting a lot done communication wise and footwork pass set wise.
You come from one of the most creative offenses probably in NFL history. What do you think of this offense so far?
I've loved it. It's so Pat and Cliff are real close. Always have been. So I was really excited to get the chance to sign here, because I knew that they've talked for years, just kind of questions or sending clips back and forth, and watching how much Pat respected him as a coach. I was super excited to get here and meet with him, and then you watch him, you could see his mind is always turning. It's always spinning. He's thinking of new things. The way we call it, it's new for me. This is the first time I've been in this style of offense communication-wise. But it's really cool. We're running a screen today at walkthrough, and all of a sudden the running backs the linebackers start reacting the other way, and I'm like, I'm lost. And I realized we had an RPO on this screen, and it's pretty sweet to see. So it was throwing me off a little. It's cool. We have a lot of creativity in this offense, and it's really cool to I still got a long way to go to learn this full offense, but it's really cool to see the first couple steps of it.
So you said Jayden's getting here early. What time are you getting here?
The other day I got here early. I was here probably 6:30, and he was loop on walking out the locker room, and you start to doubt yourself a little bit. You think you're one of the early guys, and it looked like he'd been here for a minute. He was bright-eyed. I'm dragging in at 6:30, so I'm going to work on it. Maybe get here at 6, see if I can beat him. I'll let you know if I'm able to work that out.
What kind of things are you seeing then on the field with the work that he's putting in here? What are some things maybe he's a little bit ahead on as a rookie?
I think one of the things in Cliff's offense is the scramble drill is really important. If there's, you have a first play called and Cliff says then the second play is a scramble drill, and he's committing to that and believing in that and knowing that you can make huge plays when you get into that. And it's been really cool to watch him be comfortable 4, 5, 6 seconds into the play, and it's where a lot of guys panic and try to force a throw or just run. And he's taken off on a couple of pulls, but he's comfortable back there and he's looking to make a play down the field where you normally see a lot of rookies just put their head down and run. So that's been the biggest thing that jumped out to me.
Man, I just got excited when you said barbecue. You found anything that competes with Kansas City yet?
No, not yet. I will say that's the one thing I'm definitely going to miss. If you guys have any suggestions, I would love to hear it. On that note, anything Italian, I'd love to hear that as well. Chicago's, my home base, and pizza and pasta. That's why I'm this big. So, you guys got any suggestions there? I'd love that as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Here, JP, just hold it.